Seniors still waking up to pee at 3 a.m., these 5 fruits could be the shocking cause. Have you ever wondered why some nights you sleep so soundly without interruption, yet on other nights like exactly 1 a.m. or 3 a.m., you suddenly wake up with an urgent need to urinate? And the strange thing is, your meals that day weren't all that different. The only change was perhaps a few pieces of fruit after dinner. In fact, this is not a coincidence. After turning 60, our bodies no longer react the way they used to. Certain fruits, while harmless or even beneficial when eaten at the right time, can become silent triggers for bladder irritation and fragmented sleep when consumed at the wrong hour, especially in the evening. I'm Dr. Samuel Grant, a physician specializing in senior health and wellness. Over many years of working with elderly patients, I've discovered that issues like nighttime urination or restless sleep rarely stem from complicated diseases. They often come from small daily habits, like choosing the wrong fruit or eating it at an unsuitable time. In today's video, I'll introduce you to 5 types of fruit that can help you sleep more deeply, while also warning you about 5 other fruits that, when consumed at the wrong time, may cause you to wake up repeatedly during the night, without understanding why. And if you watch until the end, I'll also share with you a simple timing principle for eating fruit. A tiny shift that can significantly improve your nighttime bladder control, all without medication or major dietary changes. But before we dive in, I'd love to know, where are you watching this video from? Please drop your city or country in the comments below. It always brings me joy to see these health messages reach people all across the world. And if you're interested in natural, safe, and practical health solutions for people in midlife and beyond, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss future videos. Now let's begin with part 1, 5 fruits that help you sleep through the night. We'll start with the first fruit, a familiar, inexpensive one that can help you sleep more deeply without being disturbed by that urge to urinate in the middle of the night. Fruit 1, banana, a gentle fruit that helps stabilize nighttime bladder reflexes. In many elderly households, bananas are often seen as a light, easy-to-digest dessert. Many still recall the advice passed down by grandparents. Eat a banana in the evening to cool the stomach and sleep better. That's not just folk wisdom. Modern science now explains the benefit behind this habit. Once we pass age 60, our body's physiological reflexes shift significantly, especially in the urinary system. The bladder becomes more sensitive to pressure. Just a small amount of urine can trigger the urge to pee and wake us up at night, even when it's not really necessary. That's exactly why bananas play a meaningful role in maintaining uninterrupted sleep. Bananas are virtually non-acidic. This makes them much less likely to irritate the bladder lining, something that often happens when urine pH becomes too acidic. Compared to more acidic fruits, bananas are considered gentler and are less likely to trigger a false sense of urgency or nighttime burning sensations. In addition, bananas offer a good dose of potassium, around 400 mg per medium fruit. This mineral helps regulate the tone of smooth muscles, including those in the bladder wall. When these muscles function calmly, there's less chance of abnormal spasms and you're less likely to wake up due to false alarms from the bladder. For seniors, bananas also serve as a light source of energy. They don't raise body heat, nor do they throw off electrolyte balance, the way some sweeter fruits can if eaten too late in the evening. That said, timing matters just as much as the type of fruit. Bananas are best eaten around 5 p.m. or 1 hour after dinner. Choose evenly ripe bananas, avoid ones that are still green or overly mushy. And don't take them straight from the fridge, as older adults tend to react poorly to cold food after evening meals. Bananas offer a simple, gentle, yet effective start if you're looking for a natural way to reduce how often you wake up to pee at night. And that's just the beginning. Coming up next, we'll look at a brightly colored fruit that's often praised for its digestive benefits. Yet few realize it also eases pressure on the bladder, especially helpful if you struggle with bloating or constipation after dinner. Fruit 2, papaya, supports digestion and reduces abdominal pressure on the bladder. Papaya is a familiar fruit often seen in light meals and is commonly referred to as a digestion helper. But for older adults, its benefits go far beyond simple digestion, especially when you're dealing with recurring nighttime urination and trouble sleeping deeply. This deep orange fruit contains a natural digestive enzyme called papain. This enzyme helps break down hard-to-digest proteins, reducing the workload of the stomach and intestines. thereby making the abdomen feel lighter after dinner. And this effect plays a crucial role in improving bladder function. When the lower abdomen is bloated, congested, or distended, the organs in the abdominal cavity, including the bladder, are lightly compressed. This pressure is enough to stimulate sensory nerves, causing the bladder to send a signal of needing to urinate, even when the actual volume of urine is not significant. Papaya helps interrupt this chain reaction early on. Moreover, papaya has a mildly alkaline property that helps maintain stable pH levels in the urine. For older adults, who are more prone to minor urinary tract inflammation or have a sensitive bladder lining, this is a major advantage. By preventing the urine from becoming too acidic, papaya helps reduce sensations of burning or irritation in the urinary tract. For best results, choose a papaya that is just ripe, with bright orange flesh and still slightly firm. Consuming about 150 grams of papaya around 1 hour after dinner is ideal. Avoid unripe, overly ripe, or refrigerator-stored papayas, as these may negatively affect digestion, which already tends to slow down with age. Papaya is not just a healthy snack. It's also a silent assistant that helps you control abdominal pressure and gives your bladder the chance to rest through the night. And that's why, for the elderly, papaya should be considered an essential part of afternoon or early evening meals. Next, I'll share with you a soft, mildly sweet fruit that's rich in water and provides a dual benefit, improving bowel movement while reducing false urges to urinate at night. Let's take a look. Fruit 3. Pear, a sweet, gentle fruit that regulates digestion and eases pressure on the bladder. Pear is not often a star on the daily fruit tray, but it has qualities that are especially suitable for older adults, particularly those who frequently wake up at night due to a need to urinate, often accompanied by bloating. This fruit has a soft texture, mild sweetness, high water content, and low acidity. Thanks to that, pears do not irritate the digestive or urinary lining, both of which become more sensitive with age. This is precisely why pears are often classified by experts as one of the safest and most comfortable fruits for seniors, especially when consumed in the afternoon. But it doesn't stop there. Pears contain sorbitol, a natural carbohydrate that helps retain water in the intestines, soften stools, and support smoother bowel movements. For those who suffer from chronic constipation, which often puts pressure on the abdomen, restoring regular bowel movement significantly reduces bladder compression and helps limit false urges to urinate at night. It's important to understand, when the intestines are bloated or packed with dry stool, the lower abdomen becomes slightly distended, and that's exactly where the bladder is located. Even a small mechanical pressure can stimulate the sensory nerves around the bladder, causing you to wake up at night even when there's not much urine present. The solution is very simple. Include one ripe pear in your mid-afternoon snack between 3 to 4 p.m. so your body has time to digest it gently before bedtime. Eat it with the skin on, if possible, as most of the fiber is found there. But make sure to wash it thoroughly, eat slowly, and chew well to reduce stomach burden. Sometimes it's the simplest choices that yield surprising results, and one soft, sweet pear may be exactly what you need to sleep better without being disturbed by false signals from the bladder. Coming up next, we'll explore a fruit that seems like something you should avoid due to its high water content. But it turns out to be a powerful soothing dose for both the bladder and prostate if you know the right time to eat it. Fruit 4, watermelon, high in water content, but can support the urinary system if consumed at the right time. Watermelon is always a symbol of summer, cool, sweet, and juicy. And because of that, many older adults often worry that eating watermelon will make them urinate more and disrupt their sleep. In fact, that concern isn't entirely wrong, but it's not entirely right either. The effect of watermelon depends greatly on how much and when it is eaten. If consumed late at night or in excessive amounts, frequent urination is, of course, inevitable. But if eaten at the right time, watermelon is a fruit that can actually support both the urinary system and male physiology. Watermelon contains a special antioxidant called lycopene, recognizable by its signature red color. This substance helps soothe mild inflammation in tissues, including the lining of the bladder and the prostate. For older men, who often face prostate enlargement, supplementing lycopene from natural sources like watermelon can help reduce irritation in the pelvic area and regulate urinary reflexes more effectively. Additionally, watermelon has a mild diuretic effect and helps cool the body. But this only brings benefits if consumed before 2 p.m. in moderate amounts, around 150-200 grams, at room temperature, and not combined with milk or other cold foods. When eaten this way, your body has enough time to process the water content before nighttime sleep begins. Watermelon is a clear example that no food is entirely good or bad, the key lies in how you use it. Eaten at the right time and in the right way, watermelon won't interrupt your sleep. In fact, it may significantly help soothe the urinary tract and make you feel more comfortable after lunch. Next, we'll move on to a very familiar fruit, small, slightly sour, rich in vitamin C, but not as irritating to the bladder as you might think. I'll explain why it's a surprisingly good option in the next section. Fruit 5. Guava, familiar, easy to grow, but unexpectedly calming for the bladder. Guava is one of those fruits that's closely tied to many people's childhoods. It's everywhere in backyard gardens, at local fruit stalls, or simply as a dessert after meals. But not everyone knows that guava is not only delicious but also a bladder-friendly option if consumed properly and at the right time. Unlike citrus fruits, which contain high levels of citric acid and can easily irritate the bladder, guava has a much lower level of natural acidity. Interestingly, despite being gentler in acidity, guava still provides a generous amount of vitamin C, without putting acid pressure on the urine like other sour fruits do. In addition, guava contains polyphenols and flavonoids, compounds with natural anti-inflammatory properties. Once inside the body, they can help soothe sensitive tissues in the urinary tract, reduce mild burning sensations during urination, and limit bladder stimulation when it's not truly necessary, a common issue at night for older adults. However, to fully benefit from these effects, guava should be consumed in mid-afternoon, ideally between 3 to 4 p.m. rather than after dinner. This gives the digestive system enough time to process the firm fibers in guava and reduces the risk of fermentation and bloating when lying down at night. Choose ripe but firm guavas with thin skins or peel lightly if the skin feels too thick. Avoid guavas that are too green or overly soft. Also, the common habit of pairing guava with salt, chili, or milk, though popular, can disrupt the pH balance of urine or cause minor digestive discomfort in older adults, especially when eaten in the evening. Guava is proof that sometimes simple and familiar choices can deliver unexpected benefits, as long as you know when to eat it, how to eat it, and what not to pair it with. And now we've just gone through 5 very familiar fruits, but when used wisely, they can help improve sleep quality naturally without needing sleep aids. But on the other hand, there are also fruits that seem healthy, yet if eaten at the wrong time, especially after dinner, could be the very cause of bladder irritation and unexpected sleep disturbances. We'll uncover which fruits to avoid in Part 2. Fruit 1. Orange, sweet lemon, refreshing fruits that can surprisingly disrupt your sleep. On hot evenings, many people have the habit of drinking a glass of orange juice or sweet lemon water as a way to cool down and boost vitamin C after dinner. For older adults, this seems reasonable, aiding digestion and strengthening immunity. However, behind that refreshing sourness lies a hidden factor that may cause you to wake up in the middle of the night, especially if your bladder has become more sensitive with age. The main issue lies in citric acid, an organic acid abundant in citrus fruits. In older adults, the bladder lining tends to become thinner and less flexible. When urine becomes overly acidic due to this natural acid, it may create a mild burning sensation or irritate the bladder lining, thereby increasing the urge to urinate, even if the bladder isn't full. Many people maintain the habit of drinking orange juice after dinner to aid digestion or replenish vitamins, but later wonder why they start waking up 2 or 3 times a night without knowing the reason. In many cases, the problem is that the fruit itself is bad. It's simply being consumed at the wrong time. The solution isn't to completely eliminate this fruit group, but to shift consumption to lunchtime or early afternoon, when the digestive system is still active and the bladder hasn't yet been triggered by age-related factors. Clearly, a glass of orange juice that seems perfectly healthy can quietly become the reason behind your sleep disruption. But this is just the beginning. Next, we'll look at a tropical fruit that's known for aiding digestion, but if consumed incorrectly, it can create internal pressure and trigger nighttime urinary reflexes. Fruit 2, pineapple, a digestive ally during the day, but a potential trigger for nighttime urination if eaten at the wrong time. Pineapple, with its sweet, fragrant flavor, is often featured in summer desserts. Many people love this fruit, believing it supports digestion and lightens the stomach after dinner. But for older adults, especially those struggling with nighttime urination, eating pineapple at the wrong time may cause the opposite effect. The most notable component of pineapple is bromelain, an enzyme that breaks down proteins and aids digestion. However, if consumed at night, when the body is entering a resting state, this enzyme can overstimulate intestinal activity, causing subtle movements in the abdomen, gas buildup, or even rumbling sounds once you've already gone to bed. With the nervous system becoming more sensitive with age, even a slight change in abdominal pressure can send misleading signals to the bladder, creating an urge to urinate when it's not actually needed. In addition, pineapple still contains a natural amount of acid. Though lower than oranges or lemons, if eaten on a full stomach or close to bedtime, it can still make the urine more acidic, once again stimulating bladder reflexes. My advice is this: eat pineapple at lunchtime in moderate amounts, about 100–150 g, and avoid mixing it with milk, yogurt, or protein-rich foods in the evening. This will help you benefit from its digestive properties without disrupting your sleep. And my friend, whether it's acid or enzymes that affect the body, there's still another factor that few people notice: pressure from gas in the intestines. Some fruits, seemingly gentle without any sour taste, tend to generate gas and lightly push against the abdominal wall from within. Let's continue exploring those in the next part. Fruit 3. Grapes, mildly sweet, easy to eat, but can keep you awake at night if consumed at the wrong time. With their glossy appearance, mild sweetness, and refreshing coolness when taken straight from the fridge, grapes are a popular evening snack for many older adults. However, few people realize that, despite being small and seemingly harmless, this fruit can silently cause negative reactions for your sleep if consumed at the wrong time. The first reason comes from grapes' high natural sugar content, including fructose and glucose. When eaten at night, especially after dinner, these sugars can lightly ferment in the intestines, particularly as the digestive system slows down due to the body's natural circadian rhythm. This leads to gas, a bloated feeling, and unintentionally increases pressure in the lower abdomen, where the bladder is located. It doesn't stop there. Grape skin, though thin, contains insoluble fiber, a type of fiber that the aging colon processes less smoothly. If you eat grapes with the skin on, especially at night, you may experience bloating, slight abdominal cramping, and in turn, your bladder may get lightly stimulated, causing you to wake up with a false urge to urinate. Additionally, the habit of eating cold grapes from the fridge can increase stomach reactivity, since your digestive system needs warmth to function properly in the evening. Introducing cold food at this time may trigger stronger stomach contractions, increased bowel movement, and unnecessary activation of the nerves involved in urination. If you enjoy grapes, here's my advice. Eat them at lunchtime in moderate amounts, around 100–120 grams, and allow them to reach room temperature before eating. If your digestion is weak, consider peeling the skin or choosing seedless grapes for easier processing. Sometimes, a familiar fruit can have a big impact just because of poor timing. And that becomes especially true as we age, when every system in the body grows more sensitive. But grapes aren't the only concern. There's another seemingly healthy factor: fresh fruit juice blends, that can significantly affect your sleep if consumed improperly. Let's explore that next. The image of a glass of fresh fruit juice, from oranges, lemons, or even kiwi, has long been associated with the message of a healthy lifestyle. But if you drink that juice after dinner or close to bedtime, especially past age 60, not only do the benefits disappear, they might even backfire. The problem lies in the strong acidity of citrus fruits. When you combine multiple citrus fruits into one juice, the levels of citric acid and simple sugars get absorbed very quickly into the bloodstream, because the juice lacks fiber to slow absorption. As a result, your urine becomes highly acidic, easily irritating the bladder lining, which is already more sensitive in older adults. This can cause sensations of needing to urinate, burning urination, or waking up early in the night to go to the bathroom. Moreover, fruit juice contains both a high amount of liquid and fast-absorbing sugars, placing an unexpected burden on the excretory system, precisely when the body is trying to rest. With this sudden influx, the bladder is forced to respond, even if you're not truly ready to urinate. Therefore, adjusting the timing of juice consumption is key. Switch to drinking it in the morning or before lunch, when your body still has the energy to handle the acidity and sugars without triggering nighttime disruptions. A vitamin-rich juice can be beneficial, but if taken at the wrong time, it becomes a silent factor breaking up your night's sleep. And don't leave just yet, because in the next part, I'll reveal a fruit that seems completely harmless. But if eaten late, it can affect the gut, nerve system, and trick the bladder into misreading your body's signals. Fruit 5. Raw tomatoes, light on the stomach, but not always gentle on the bladder. At dinner time in many households, raw tomatoes often appear as an essential part of salads, easy to prepare, visually appealing, and offering a light and healthy feel that seems ideal for older adults. But few realize that this seemingly harmless fruit could actually be the reason why you wake up 2-3 times during the night. Tomatoes contain oxalic acid, a compound that can increase the formation of tiny crystals in the urine. In younger people, this usually causes no issues. But in older adults, as the bladder lining becomes more sensitive over time, these crystals can lead to mild irritation, triggering frequent urination during the night. On top of that, raw tomatoes have a slightly acidic nature and are often combined with ingredients like onions, salt, pepper, or lemon juice. This mix can cause unpredictable reactions in a weakened urinary system, especially at night when the body is trying to wind down and rest. If you're someone who enjoys tomatoes, here's a simple suggestion: cook them before eating. When added to soups, stir-fried vegetables, or stews, the acidity is significantly reduced, making the dish more gentle for both your digestion and excretion systems. Try to avoid raw tomatoes after 6 p.m., especially if paired with spicy, cold, or salty foods. Tomatoes are a perfect example of foods that seem healthy, but if used at the wrong time, can silently disrupt your sleep, especially after the age of 60. And right after this, let's move into the final part, where you'll discover the most important factor of all: the timing of fruit consumption. Just a small change in schedule could make a big difference in improving your sleep quality each night. Part 3: The timing of fruit, a simple but forgotten key to better sleep. Many people believe that eating fruit after dinner is a good way to supplement vitamins and support digestion. But the truth is, after the age of 60, when you eat becomes the key factor that determines whether you sleep deeply or not. Traditional medicine teaches that the digestive system functions strongest during the day, and modern science fully agrees. As the day progresses into the evening, all metabolic organs from the stomach, intestines, and liver to the kidneys gradually slow down. If you consume fruits that are high in water, sugar, or acidity at this time, your excretory system has to work overtime. And as a result, you may be awakened in the middle of the night by the urge to urinate. This becomes even more evident if you eat fruit right after a dinner high in starch or fat. The digestive system hasn't finished processing your main meal, and the fruit begins to ferment, producing gas, putting pressure on your lower abdomen, and the bladder reacts, even when the actual amount of urine is minimal. So what's the solution? Fruits like oranges, grapes, watermelon, tomatoes, and pineapple should be eaten before 5 p.m., while your digestive system is still going strong. Gentler fruits like papaya, banana, and pear can be eaten after dinner, but only if it's at least 1-2 hours apart from your main meal, so it doesn't disrupt the digestive process. Absolutely avoid eating raw fruits mixed in salads too late in the evening, especially if combined with salt, lemon juice, or cold foods. Dear friend, at this age, the body no longer speaks loudly like before. Warning signs like insomnia, nighttime urination, or even mild fatigue may arrive quietly, making them easy to overlook. But it's from those subtle signals that, if you choose to listen and adjust, daily life can become much more comfortable. A piece of fruit eaten at the right time, a well-prepared salad, these may seem small, but they could be the key to a night of uninterrupted deep sleep. I once received a message from an elderly viewer. She simply replaced her usual glass of orange juice after dinner with a few pieces of ripe papaya at 7 p.m. And after just 3 days, she slept 6 hours straight without waking up once during the night. No medicine, no special therapy, just understanding and adjusting at the right time. Good health in old age doesn't come from drastic changes. It comes from small, correct habits, repeated every day. If you found today's insights helpful, leave a comment to share your experience, hit subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss upcoming videos from Dr. Samuel Grant. Wishing you restful sleep and a strong, healthy body every day. See you in the next video.